Hey there, CJ Math students, and happy Friday. Welcome to Puzzle Day. We're going to go ahead and try and use these couple of riddles to help us with our learning of equivalency. Remember, I can write a number in 3 different ways: as a percent, as a decimal, as a fraction, and they all mean the same thing. That's why math is such a wonderful universal language. Number 1, you're trying to answer the riddle that says, why didn't Dexter want a pocket calculator? So you're going to say, do each exercise, find your answer in the answer columns, write the letter of the exercise in the box containing the number of the answer. So it says write each percent as a fraction in lowest terms. The beautiful thing about percent and writing them as a fraction is it's always going to be over 100. The bad thing is you're going to have to simplify. So for instance, 20% is 20 over 100. What can I divide 20 and 100 by? Well, it turns out I can divide them both by 20. And what does that get me? It gets me 1/5. So 20% gets me 1/5. I want to go down here. I want to find 1/5, and it's there. So I'll say, 15 is W. So I'll take a W and put it on 15. All right. Now 1/5 is over with, so it shouldn't be an answer on my answer choice anymore. All right. Let's do E. 80%. So 80 over 100. What can I divide? Yeah, I can divide by 2, but I can also divide by 20. So let's divide by 20 again. When I divide by 20 this time, I get 4/5. 4 over 5. So let's go ahead and find 4/5 over here. 4/5 is going to be E. So 29, you'll have an E on 29. So right here. Let's do a little bit trickier one. Let's do 75%. 75% is 75 over 100. What can I divide them both by? Turns out I can divide them both by 25, right? My quarters. And I get 3/4. So 75% is the same as 3/4. So let's go down and find 3/4. 3/4 is 34, so that's again an E. So I can cross off 3/4. And on 34, I can put an E. One more together. Let's do something like 95. 95 over 100. What can I divide them both by? I can divide them both by 5. So when I divide them both by 5, I get 20 on the bottom. And just think about it. Even if you don't know your 5s all the way up to 95, it's like, hey, if 100 divided by 5 is 20, then 95, which is one 5 less, it's got to be 19. And that's exactly what it is, 19 over 20. So let's put an E on 19 over 20, which is right there, E. Cross off 19 over 20 so we don't get confused. And on 2, I want to put 19. I want to put an E. All right. Some of them cannot be simplified. So, for instance, something like 49 over 100. That's just 49 over 100. You cannot divide anything in common between 49 and 100. So you just look for 49 over 100, which is H, and on 17 you put an H. So I'm going to pause there and jump to the other side. The other side is the opposite. It's saying, okay, you've got a fraction, write it as a percent. Now, a lot of you should be using your multiplication chart on this one to create base 10s, or you should go ahead and try and use your reference sheet with all the fourths, the fifths, the thirds, all that stuff. So either you can use a reference sheet to say, hey, this is 0.4, or you can say, base 10 times 2 times 2. That gives me 4 over 10, which gives me 40%, right? So try and do base 10 as much as possible on this. So 40% for A. So here's 40%. That's A. Cross it off. On 37, put an A. All right, let's do another one. Let's do 1 over 50. So let's say times 2 times 2. Oops, sorry. That equals 2 over 100. That is 2%. All right, 2% is going to be the letter D, and cross that off, and we'll put a D on 9. All right. Is there anyone? In fact, I think all of these on here you can do base 10. Yeah, I mean even 25 you can say times 4 times 4, right? And 25 times 4 is obviously 100, and 16 times 4, even I'm using my multiplication chart right now, is 64. So we got 64 over 100, which is 64%. Right, so we got to put an N on 64%, which is this one. N, cross that off, and on 22, put N. All right. So once the video is over with, you'll do finish up this puzzle kind of on your own. On the back side, we got something similar. but the puzzle's a little bit different on how to operate, so I'll help you out. For each set of exercises, there is one extra answer. The letter, write this letter in the corresponding box at the right. So you're going to use up 4 of them, and there will be one extra, and that's the letter that you write here. So for 1, 40% is the same thing as 40 over 100, which is the same thing as 4 over 10, which is the same thing, hopefully, as you realize, is 2/5. So you can cross off U, you're not going to use it. 55 is 55 over 100. If I divide by 5, I should get 11 over 20, so we're going to cross off Y. 2% is 2 over 100. If I divide by 2, I should get 1 over 50, so we're going to cross off P. And 36 is 36 over 100. If I divide by 4, I should get 9 over 25, which is F, so I'm left with E. So in 1, I will put E, the thing I'm left with. Let me scoot on down to the next section, which is write each fraction as percent. So 19 is just simply 19%. So cross off O. 7 over 20, create a base 10 by multiplying by 5. We get 35 over 100, which is 35%. Cross off H. 33, so base 10 times it by 2. You get 66 over 100, which is just 66%. So cross off G. And 24 over 25, we can multiply that by 4, right? Our quarters again. So we should get 96 over 100, which is 96%. So what did we use? We didn't use B. So on 4, I will put B right there. All right. And on 7, it says write each decimal as a percent. So what is this going to be? This is going to be move 2 times right. So starting at the decimal, so I go once, twice, drawing the arrow, making it nice and fine. So that should be 44%. So see you later to D. 0.09. I'm going to move once, twice, draw an arrow. That would be 9%. So see you later C. Once, twice, that would be 4.4%. Try and make your lines better than what I did there. See you later to H. And once, twice, empty space. So I get 90%. So see you later N. So A is the thing I didn't use. So on 7, I will put A. 7 is A. All right. And the last one is the opposite, right? Write each percent as a decimal. So move 2 times left. So 66, I'll say once, twice. That equals 0.66. See you later F. Once, twice. That equals 0.40 or just 0.4. See you later R. Start from the decimal on this one. Once, twice. That equals 0.066. So see you later D. And starting from the end, once, twice. That equals 0.04. So see you later L. So on 10, you would put G. On 10, you would put G. All right, so I will leave you now in partners to work on this. Be productive. Get this stuff done. When you are finished, you got a lot of ST Math minutes to do.